We are here for our 4th snow day. But it's not just a 4th snow day. It's a very special day for me. Okay, it is my son's birthday. And we're going to have a birthday party for him. Happy birthday, Yoshi. Happy birthday. So today we're going to make you a cake. And I'm here with my vanilla, cream cheese. I believe cream cheese was your favorite. Now again, I have disclaimer. I am not the best cook, but I will get in this kitchen for you. So I'm just gonna gather my supplies. I have these very cute porcupine. They're like Russian dolls. They're just sitting within each other. I thought I'd show you that. Isn't that cute? Oh my goodness. Well, today I have a few stories to tell about Yoshi. Yoshi is just, he's been accused of being my favorite child. But I have no favorites, okay? So let's clear that up. I just love him a lot. Because when he was a baby, he was such a cute baby. I mean, when I tell you, he was probably the cutest baby many of you have seen. And not because he's my child. But I brought him home. I had 3 kids. He was baby number 4. And they were not very fond of this baby. They were not. So every day I would have to watch them because somebody would try to pinch him or make him cry or snatch toys from him. So I kind of came up with this elaborate scheme, and I told my friend, call me, we're going to pretend you're the doctor. And so she called me up. At that time, the phones were, you know, still on the wall, and we were bling, bling, bling. So I'm like, hello, and they're like, oh, this is the hospital. Oh, hello, Dr. So-and-so. And then I said, be quiet, kids, the doctor's on the phone. It's about Yoshi. He wants to tell us something. And I said, oh my goodness, what do you mean we have the wrong baby? Oh no, I don't want to give him back. What do you mean I have to bring him right now? And I hung up the phone and I said, kids, we have to take the baby back. We have the wrong baby. And I'm like, I don't know where my baby is, but we have the wrong baby, so we have to take him back. So I started dressing him and the kids started to cry. No, we don't want to give Yoshi back. He's our baby. He's our baby. And I'm like, no, but just think about how happy you'll be. You guys didn't really even like the baby. Like, let's just take the baby back. Long story short, I bundled him up. My friend called me back. I said, well, he's all ready. And then I said, wait, excuse me? Okay, I'll call you back. I hang up the phone. I'm like, well, they said that if you really want to keep the baby, and if we're going to be nice to him, then he already is attached to us, so we can keep him. So are you guys going to be nice to him? And they were like, yes, we're going to be nice. We're going to be nice to him. We're going to be nice to him. And lo and behold, everyone was nice to Yoshi after that because they really loved him so much. They were just experiencing that little tiny bit of civil jealousy that you get when you bring a brand new baby home and everybody's like, ooh, over the baby. But he really was cute. Even though my oldest daughter will still say he had a big forehead. But I think it runs in the family. So, okay, so let's get started. Yes, don't judge me. I still have to read the instructions. So I am going to be making this out of a very beautiful cake dish that I have. I pull this out for all my special occasions. This is my brownie, my favorite brownie pan. So we have that. We have our porcupines. We're going to get our eggs and our oil. Hold on one second. So yeah, it was very interesting. As a matter of fact, talking about snow days, before Yoshi was born, I lived in New York City. I had actually moved a little further upstate to a little town in Yonkers. And but before that, I had never had a snow day. Like New York City didn't have snow days. I thought Snow Day, from the bottom of my heart, was just a very good movie. And I thought snow days happened like in some foreign country. I didn't know that we had snow days. So when he was little, and I actually did bundle him up, we all walked to the bus stop, me and my kids, and someone passed by and they're like, ma'am, why are you at the bus stop? Don't you know, like, we're having a snow day? And I was like, what in the world is a snow day? It's when school closes and you stay home with your children. And we were so excited. You would have thought you told us it was Christmas Day. And so I walked these 4 children back in my bundle baby, and we, you know, enjoyed the rest of our day. And it was great. And we proceeded to have a few of these days throughout the year. But it was the first time in my life that I had experienced a snow day. And it was just so much fun. So, all right, I need to get 3 eggs. We'll get some oil. Now, again, this show is not for the master cooks. This is not for people who are like, I'm a chef, you know. This is for people who just want to hang out and have some fun and make something cute, make something fun for their family. You know, one thing as a young mom, I didn't have a whole lot of culinary skills. And I say this again and again because I want moms not to always eat out and buy food, to know that they can still do something wonderful at home with whatever skill set they have. So that's my heart's desire. So let me get my oil. And the good thing about baking is that baking is kind of hard to mess up. It's precisely the measurements, and if you stick to the measurements, you get the same thing every time. Now, I don't want to be dishonest. Like if it's a souffle or meringue or, oh gosh, what are those cookies that my favorite the macaroons, like those require a lot of skill. And yes, you can mess those up, and yes, they'll flatten and they'll do all this weird stuff. But if you're just baking a cake or cookies, even cookies from scratch, just follow the directions. They will come out the same every time. So let me get my bowls. Like I said, we're gonna mix and mingle today. This is the first time in years that I've had a whole week of snow days. Like this is the first for me. Like a whole week of snow days. Oh, these are great, guys. They sell them at the 99-cent store. We buy them like, we must have brought 20 of these over the last 10 years. They don't really break, but sometimes they might get like a little slither, a little hole in them or something, and then you just have to replace them. So, okay, I'm gonna crack my eggs. It's calling for 3 eggs. I just crack them on the side. Generally peek to make sure no shells fall in. I'm not really worried about shells. If 1 or 2 fall in, I'm pretty good at digging them out. I don't think there's any shells in here. But I'll tell you this, if a shell does fall in here, please go out your way to find it, because there is nothing worse, at least for me in the culinary world, at least for me, and I don't care if you, like I said, you only make toast. There is nothing worse than finding a shell in your cake. Now, if you can agree with me, give this video a thumbs up, because I'm telling you, I don't know if it's happened to you, if you have ever had a shell in your cake, but it's absolutely the worst. So I'm just going to mix these up. And another thing I realized is that there is really a science to mixing your wet ingredients, which I never knew. I just thought, you know, put it all together, stir and mix. So I'm just going to give those a little stir. Give me 1 cup of water and these really cute, this is my 1 cup size. Like I said, the little porcupines, I love this. I have so many cute measuring bowls. I'm like that person that doesn't cook, but I own every cooking like toy, every cooking, I don't know what you call it, apparatus, I own it. Like I used to at one time have mixers and gadgets and this, because I just like them. I just like, it's weird. I mean, I have, like I said, several different type of measuring cups, several different types of ovens. I have hundreds of cookbooks, but I like them more in an artsy way. Like, not that I can actually use them, which is very embarrassing to admit, but I do love them. Okay, so let me get my 1 cup of water. Da, da, da. I get turned around a lot, but it's okay. As long as you find your way back, okay? This is why I tell people who think they suffer from imposter syndrome. You know, as long as you find your way back, you're going to get turned around when you're not an expert. You're going to get turned around when you're not exactly sure how to do things. But, okay, so we have our 1 cup of water, and we need 1/4 cup of oil. It's my little baby porcupine. Yep. And then you kind of have, when you measure things out too, you're kind of confident because you're not putting in too much or too little. So it's always worth to measure things out. It's always worth it. So I'm just going to mix my wet ingredients. Now this is not calling for me to do anything else. It just says 1 cup of water, 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and 3 eggs. But I always like to do something. So hold on. Look at me pulling out the big guns for Yoshi. Pulling out the big guns. So this is my baking box. Yes, it's full of a lot of stuff. But if I can look, I think and I believe in here somewhere I have some, I thought I did, lemon extract. Da, da, da. So we're gonna add a little bit of lemon extract. So even though you make a box cake, you can do something spectacular with it. Now, I just put 2 capfuls. Don't know if that's too much or too little, but it usually works. I always put 2 capfuls. Do you think it needs more than 2 capfuls? I'm asking my invisible cameraman. Do you think it needs more than 2 capfuls? 1. He said 1 was enough, but I like it very lemony, so we'll do that. It'll be a lemon cake with cream cheese frosting, and then we'll make it birthday beautiful. All right, let me put back this crazy, my baking box here. We'll put that away. It's hidden up there with all my collagen and all the things I use to try to look like I'm among the living. You know how some people do things to be beautiful? I just want to look alive. Like, I want to look like I actually slept last night. I want to look like I actually don't need CPR or some sort of, resuscitation. That's my goal. Like, I don't want anybody to walk up to me and try to perform the Heimlich maneuver because I am not choking. All right, so let's do this. But yeah, I enjoyed having 6 children, and when Yoshi came along, it was weird because I can honestly say, and I don't know if it's just the luck of the Irish, because I have very little Irish in me, but I almost feel shallow saying it, but it is the truth. Like, every time I was pregnant, I kind of wanted like a girl or a boy, and I have to say that every time I got what I asked for, which is crazy. Like, all of us just want a healthy baby, and the God's honest truth, there would have been 0 disappointment if it wasn't a girl or a boy. If it was a boy and I asked for a girl and vice versa. But with Yoshi, my whole heart wanted a boy. I mean, I wanted a boy upon conception. Like, that was my obsession. I just wanted this boy. And so I didn't know the sex of the baby. I kind of had a pretty decent pregnancy because for some reason the boys do not try to kill me. Like, those girls, oh yeah, we're going to wait till we get to those videos. Because those girls, they took all my beauty. They took all my strength. I mean, I'm lucky they left me anything at all. I'm literally lucky they left me anything at all. Because I was totally like sick for the whole 9 months with them. But unlike with the boys, I was like doing backflips, going swimming, having fun. It was easy. My pregnancies with the boys were easy. So, but I had to have a sonogram. I think I was late. I was close to being late, or something provoked them to give me a sonogram like a week before he was born. So I told the doctor, I thought I wanted to wait, but I wanted to find out, and I had like got all of my good energy, and I was ready for him to tell me it was a girl, and I was going to be happy regardless because all we wanted was a healthy baby. Well, my God, when that man told me it was a boy, I almost fell off the table. I literally did a happy dance from the doctor's office. At that time I lived in the city, so I was taking a cab home, to the cab, up the stairs, in the house, in the kitchen for the rest of the week, because I think he was born like a week later. And you couldn't tell me nothing. I'm telling you, they could have came on the news and told me the world was ending, and I would have been like too happy to care, but I was elated. I mean, I think he knows this, and that may have been what gave the kids the impression that he was my favorite child. I don't think he was my favorite child. I just really wanted a boy. And it wasn't like I didn't have boys. I had a girl and a boy, and that was fine. So when I had a third boy, I mean, I don't know I can't explain what made me want the sex of the baby with each pregnancy. It was just something that was there. Maybe I intuitively already knew what the baby was because, I do believe in 6 senses. But, I just was so happy. So that came and went. We went to the doctors. Everything was great. And then I went home, and I said, okay, I relaxed. I got that nesting syndrome you get that you want to clean everything up and make the house perfect. That happens right after the baby. I'm going to take out my whisk. I don't use my machine that goes with this, but I do use a whisker, and I'm going to whisk this in while we talk. So I get home and I do all of my nesting, right? Because now you're nesting, you're cleaning up, putting all the cute baby things in the drawers. At that time, his dad had built his crib, so he was finishing up and sanding the crib down. The crib was beautiful. Someone had given us the crib, or we found the crib. I don't know. He was very handy with his hands, so he could make things. He's like a carpenter. And so he was finishing up his crib. His crib was beautiful. I was in love with the crib. But that night, I wanted to paint the room because I'm like, I want to paint the room. I didn't think about the fumes I was going to be sleeping in. I didn't think, and I wanted to paint it. What color did I want to paint it? A peach. Yes, a peach color. Even though it was a boy, I don't know where I got the color peach from. And that's when his dad should have told me, no, we're not coloring this room peach. We're not doing that. But that was the color I picked out. So he spent the whole day, and we had a pretty big room because the room was a bedroom with a den that attached. So his crib was going to be in a little attached room where our bedroom was. So we had to paint both rooms. So room got painted. I sat in that room the next day. I sat in that room. I sat in that room. And I sat in that room. And then I started to cry. I started to cry. And his dad was like, what in the world are you crying about? And I said, I hate this color. I hate this color. I hate this color. Why would you paint the room peach? He's like, because you brought the paint and asked me to paint the room peach. I'm like, but I hate this color. I really hate this color. So we went back out. God bless his soul. And we got this other color. I think it was like a green. It was beautiful. And maybe like not like a regular green, but a light green. Like it was, I can't explain it. It was just a beautiful color. And so he painted the room. He painted the room. It was a whole job. He had just painted the room, not even 3 days before. And he painted it again. And I sat in the room and I sat in the room and I loved it. I loved it. So now I'm relaxed. I'm feeling happy. Oh, I did have to take one retake of this video. So what you guys missed was I had poured myself some wine and in a birthday cup just for Yoshi. So let me have a little. I'm sure the stories will get better once I've had a little more of this. But now I'm happy. The room is painted. The crib is sanded. It's shellacked. Everything's beautiful. Not caring about the fumes. I'm okay. And it was just wonderful. Everyone goes to bed, and I decide at that time the show that was on rewind was Seinfeld. Yes, I remember clearly because I got all my snacks and everyone went to bed, and I was ready to sit up here, and I'm cracking up because guess what? For some reason, toddlers do not wake up when you make noise. So all my kids were 5 and under, and they were in their beds, and they were sleeping, and his dad was sleeping in the back room. And I was in stitches. I don't know what was so funny about Seinfeld because now I watch the reruns and I don't think it's that funny. But at that time, I was in stitches. So, was it Seinfeld? I think it was Seinfeld. Yes, it was. And as I am laughing my heart out, I start to get contractions. And I'm like, well, this is not my first time at the rodeo, so I'm not waking anybody up because they're going to want to take me to the hospital because nobody wants to deal with a pregnant woman who's having contractions. So I decided I was going to rough and tough it out. I was like, well, that song wasn't out, I don't think then, but if it was, I would have sang it. I'm rough and tough with my Afro puff, so I was just going to rough it out. So when it got to be like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, they got pretty bad, so I called myself taking a bubble bath. You know, and like I said, I like to play science teacher. My water hadn't broke, so I know I was in no danger of getting an infection. I was like, I'll just sit in this tub. I didn't make the water too hot. And at that time, Avon had that great bubble bath. Everyone had the Avon bubble bath. So gave myself a bubble bath. Then I got dressed. I soaked in that tub for a while because I was just going to like make myself comfortable because, you know, when the contraction is actually happening, there's nothing that's going to make you comfortable at that time. So, or any time. Let me find, I'm looking for, okay. I have a spray bottle I use when I just want to coat the pan. I don't use, if I can figure out how to use this thing. Okay, thank you. So, all right, here we go. I don't normally put that pin in there. But so I took my bubble bath, soaked in there for a while, and then they got intense. So I figured I would wake up, get everybody ready for school, because they were, they were in Head Start, kindergarten, and I believe Jonathan was in Head Start too, because they were just a couple years apart. So, and I called my friend Trina, so if you're watching this, I know you remember this story. And I said, Trina, she was going to watch the kids while me and the baby's dad were going to go to the hospital. And Trina came over. I don't know where that woman gets her strength and her joy. We are in our 50s now, and she's as joyous now as she was then. Like, time has done nothing to wear her down. She is just such a joy. If you ever have a chance to meet someone like that, you consider yourself lucky. But she came and got all those kids. She got them off to school. She got them dressed, and we went to the hospital. I had scheduled at that time to have a baby, have my tubes tied, be cute. It was baby number 4. And, but prequel to this story, hit pause on that. I had become very friendly with my doctor, and he was like, oh, maybe we will find you a different doctor, because him and I shared a lot of views that were the same, but I wanted an epidural and they were into natural medicine. So he switched me over to a different doctor. Well, this doctor was into natural medicine too. So I get to the hospital, y'all. And now, I'm going, because I've been up all night, like with the baby contractions. But now I'm ready to see my anesthesiologist. I'm ready. Like, don't play with me. Like, I am going to take my drugs. I'm going to take whatever you have to give me to have this baby. So the doctor comes to see me. He says, I'm sorry, ma'am, I'm a natural doctor, so we don't believe in epidurals. Besides, your insurance isn't going to pay for it unless you have a C-section. And I says, wait a minute. I had already been on the phone with my insurance company because I wasn't playing with them. I said, I'm a VBAC. I'm entitled to have a epidural, in the event of emergency I go into a C-section, because I'd already had a C-section. So they gave me a letter to prove. So I handed the doctor the letter. We're good. Insurance going to pay for it, pre-approved. He says, well, I just don't believe in it. Well, I said, no problem. I proceeded to get up, take that little robe that you tie in the back, but it shows everything. And I got up and started putting my clothes on. Because I was like, well, I'm going to go find me a doctor that is not a naturopath who believes in epidurals. And he was like, ma'am, you cannot leave this hospital. You're like 6 centimeters. It would be like against medical advice. I said, well, I hope you you enjoy your license, because I am leaving, and it will be on the record that I left because you refused to give me an epidural. So he says, I'm not gonna concede, but maybe there's another doctor on call that will take your case. So he finds me another doctor, Dr. Adi Yobo. Nice African doctor. He must have been six feet tall. And he goes and we meet, and it's just glorious. We love each other from the love at first sight. And he gets me my epidural. That was around 11 o'clock, because I've been arguing with this man since about 7 in the morning. And so then he says, okay, everybody, break time. Let the epidural kick in. You guys go have lunch. So my mom and his dad went to go have lunch. Well, Grandma and Daddy weren't even to the elevator before I was yelling, come back, come back. I think the baby changed his mind. He got his epidural and he's ready to come. Well, Dr. Adiobo says, no way possible. We just checked you. It's 6 centimeters. Well, when Dr. Adiobo went to go make sure that the coast was clear, it was not clear. Yoshi's little head was right there. Daddy was running back. Grandma was running back, and within minutes, we had the most beautiful baby. The baby was so beautiful that his dad was giving me the funny eye. I was like, don't play with me. Give me the funny eye. But he was beautiful. His hair was blonde. He had the biggest cheeks. He looked like a little baby cherub. He was gorgeous. And I'm in love with him, and the doctor says, well, we're going to clean you up and tie your tubes now. And I said, and the doctor said, oh, no. We don't say, He's like, cancel that tubal ligation. This mom she's not feeling this. I was in love with this baby, and after seeing him, I'm definitely thinking, oh, I could take 2 or 3 of you, right? So I didn't know that's what I was thinking, but my face was saying that. And so long story short, Yoshi was born. He was amazing. He was a big baby, big hands, big feet. I'm going to put a picture up here of him. He's still a beast. He's still the biggest kid I have. And he was beautiful. He smelled so good like babies do. And he was a good baby. He did not cry. He did not fuss. He just sat there and let you adore him. That was his job. He was like, you want to see this side? You want to see this side? He just let you adore him. And when I got him home, like I said, the kids weren't excited to see him, but he was just that baby. And he was always up under me. It's amazing to me that he's a grown-up now and he calls me when he has time and Mom, I'm busy. It's so shocking to me that he doesn't come over here every day and like have coffee with me and bring me like, I don't know, pastries or something. All right, we're going to get this cake in the oven because all the bubbles are gone. It's nice and stirred as we were talking. And yes, I am still part of that generation that likes to lick the bowl, but I will not lick this bowl in front of you. Don't you worry. I will spare you the goodness. But yeah, so he was born and it was just a perfect birth. And Yoshi has been that kid. He has been that kid. He really didn't give me a hard time growing up. We had a few rough patches in school because he's also like my dad. He only gets angry when he feels like there's an injustice. So throughout his, school years, when he felt there was an injustice, you couldn't really talk him out of it. I won't tell you that he laid hands on some people, but he did lay hands on them. I hope they're healed now, but he was little, but he was definitely that kid that loved justice. He loved mercy, and he would definitely put his neck on the line for the underdog. So, I'm very proud of him. He's into logistics now. The man keeps a job. If he's not working, he's on his motorcycle. Yes, he's on his motorcycle. I wasn't excited about this motorcycle. That's a whole story, which I will take a few minutes to tell you. But when he's not out on the open road and enjoying life, which I'm so pleased to see him do, this is a kid who is his own person. I despise motorcycles. I made this very clear to all of my kids. Don't even ask. Don't call me. Don't look for me. I did not want any of my kids to have a motorcycle. So when he did acquire this motorcycle, he had it for some time before any of those little buggers would tell me. In fact, my one who always seems to know everything, she simply said, call your son. Now, when any of my kids tell me to call another child, I make me a cup of coffee and I have a seat and I call that child because something's going to drop. So I call him and he's like, yeah, Ma, that money I was saving for a car? Oh, what'd you get? What'd you get, Dodge? What'd you get, what car? A Nissan, a Toyota? He's like, a Mitsubishi or whatever he got. I can't think of the name of it. Put it like this. It was not a car. It was a motorcycle. This kid has been on the open road ever since. He has been living his best life. He doesn't know. I stalk him. I look at all of his Instagram photos. I see him when he is riding with other motorcycle clubs. He's making friends. I couldn't be more proud. I could not be more proud. In fact, usually around his birthday time, it was winter and either we had colds or something. So I don't know that I baked him enough cakes in his life, but I am definitely baking this cake for him tonight. And hopefully if he sees this video, he will come have a slice. Which he is going to see this video because Mom's going to email it to him and Mom's going to say, come see me and come have a slice of cake. And maybe he does have a car that he uses on the side. Maybe if I'm really asked nicely, he will come say hi to his mom and have a piece of cake because it is your birthday. And I know a lot of the stories sound like it was about me, but it was about you. It was about you because, and I'm going to cry because you were just so wonderful. And I was just so excited. And of course, I'm going to tell my story about how excited I was about this baby. And I really was. And don't worry, guys. I am definitely planning to have the time of my life. I am definitely planning to embrace this empty nest. Don't worry about me. Believe me, I'm already checking out how much money I'm going to have when I retire. I'm already checking into my teacher retirement fund and what I'm gonna, if SSI even exists, because you know we ain't made enough babies to replace the system, but to see if where I would be if I want to retire at 62. So I'm thinking like that. But right now I'm thinking about you guys. So I'm gonna put this cake in the oven to do what cakes do. I'm gonna finish my birthday celebration drink for my son. I'm gonna pack up my porcupines, and I'm gonna wish you, Yoshi, a very happy birthday. And now this part of the video is just for Yoshi. I love you so much. You have no idea. I have not been perfect. I have done wonderful things, and I have done crazy things, and I have moved from New York to Maryland, and then back to New York, and then back to Maryland, and I am all the things, right, that would make kids excited, aggravated, exhausted, happy. You know, it's been a roller coaster. I wouldn't change anything. There are some things I would change. I would change the things that didn't excite you. I would change the things that would make you feel like nothing mattered but you and your brothers and sisters. I would change all those things. But I did the best I could. I was so fiercely focused on being educated and not finding ourselves in a situation where, you know, we couldn't eat. That was my big thing. I was going to make sure you guys had enough. And, you know, it came later in life, but it came, and you guys are doing so amazing, and you make me deliriously proud. I can't say it enough. And it's not just me. It's everyone who has had any opportunity to spend time with you. They say the same thing. I mean, my school secretary fell in love with you. It only took her 15 minutes because you drove your bike over the divide and into the parking lot. And she's like, oh, I didn't know there were still real men out there. And bam. And I'm sorry if that offended anybody, but that's what she said. She's like, he's like a Harley Davidson guy. And I think it's wonderful. I think it's amazing. He's all the things, you know, tough on the outside, soft on the inside, you know. I won't say it's like a Pillsbury biscuit, but it is my favorite kind of biscuit. But anyway, I love you, son. I love you so much. I hope that you have the best year of your life. I learned a long time ago not to play matchmaker, not to try to find you a girlfriend. But ladies, he is still single. And when I put his photo up at the end of this video, you might want to leave a comment or two, because he is still single. So, but like I said, my kids told me a long time ago, don't play matchmaker, Mom. We love who we love. We'll find love, or we'll be single. It's our life. So, hands off. But he is available, ladies. I would be so good on Bridgerton, because I would definitely be looking for a princess for my son. 100%. Well, mwah, I love you. I will post this cake at the end. Happy birthday and cheers. Be good, beautiful people. Happy birthday, Yoshi. Mwah, I love you.
Happy birthday to you, Yoshi. Happy birthday to you, Yoshi. Happy birthday to Yoshi. Happy birthday to you, Cha-Cha.
Happy birthday, little brother. Love you.
Happy birthday, bro. You're the best.
Happy birthday, Yoshi! Happy
Old,
birthday, Yoshi!
Old.
Birthday happy, Yoshi!
Happy birthday, Yoshi!
Happy birthday, nephew. Big up to you,
Hope
mate.
you had an awesome day.
Right on. Rock
Bye.
out.